Welcome back to TV Tacoma's CityLine. I'm Phaedra Redifer filling in for Amanda Westbrook. We are joined here now with our friends at the Emergency Food Network, such a great community program that helps so many people. And first, I'd like to introduce us to Michelle Douglas. You are the Chief Executive Officer. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Sam Cook is here. You are the Volunteer and Activities Coordinator. Certainly a big job. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Joanna Rasmussen, you get the delight of telling everybody all the great things that you do as a communications manager. Welcome.
Thank you.
Michelle, I'd like to start first with you. Tell us more about the Emergency Food Network. What are you all up to and what kind of an impact is it making in our community?
Absolutely. Well, first off, thank you so much for having us here. We really appreciate the support of the community. That's really what allows us to do the work that we do. So EFN, as we call it, acts as the Emergency Food Distribution Center for Pierce County. And what that looks like is we have 76 different partner agencies that we work with that are the food pantries on the ground, and we get the food to them. So EFN moves about 14 million pounds of food annually, which is a lot of food. And we source food from all different areas. We have an organic farm. We get food from different community members, we get food from corporations and large volume, and then we parse it out to these 76 different food pantries. And there's about 1,300,000 visits to food pantries across Pierce County annually. So as you can see, the need is huge.
The need is huge. And have you been seeing an increase in the need, or is it pretty consistent over the last few years?
That is a great question. What we've seen is that people are visiting the food pantry more often. So where they might have a disaster or something that brought them to the food pantry once or twice, average person now makes 7 visits annually. And at this time of year, we have 59,000 kids that are on free and reduced lunch in Pierce County. And so all of those kids no longer have access to breakfast and lunch. And so a lot of the food pantries that we work with are providing summer meals, which is great. But we also see more visits to the food pantry this time of year and less donations.
And I'm certain with a vast distribution, huge need and demand, this isn't just reliant upon the few of you who are with us today and just a couple of members who are back at the offices and the distribution centers, packing things up, making phone calls. So how can we as a community help the work that you all are doing?
Yeah. So the backbone of EFN is volunteers. So there are almost 3,000 volunteers that come out to us every single year, which is just incredible. And it's corporations and other nonprofits and individuals. They come out and they work in, some of them come out and work in our Repack facility. So EFN buys a number of products every year, but we buy in giant volume. We buy by the semi-truck. And what people come and do is they work in our Repack center and they pack it down into family-sized bags. So for example, we pack down rice, oats, beans, pasta, every single week. We have about 8 shifts a week that come in and work on this with us. And then we also have volunteers that go out. We have an 8-acre farm out in the Puyallup Valley called Mother Earth Farm, and they go out to the farm and help us with harvesting and vegetables and so forth.
It is a huge undertaking for sure.
Really is,
and I love the fact that EFN has a farm. And Sam, I know that you're coordinating a lot of events and activities. Tell us more about the farm component.
Yeah, so volunteers do essential work at EFN's Mother Earth Farm. They do everything from seeding, weeding, planting, transplanting, and harvesting as well. And all kinds of different farm chores that come up as well, like laying drip tape or trestling tomatoes, laying compost, things like that come up, of course, with running an 8-acre farm. We also have this incredible program that this year Tote Maritime is a part of that's called Adopt a Row. And this is where they really take on owning 3 rows and doing all of the labor that's involved from seed to plant and also being able to harvest that. So they are currently taking care of 3 rows of purple kale, this beautiful plant that we have out at the farm right now that's such an amazing product that we're able to serve to our food pantries. And so that's a really unique program, and we are always looking for more corporate groups to get involved in that program. We also have events that happen at the farm, Brewers Night and Wine and Weeding, that happen throughout the season. We found that seems to be a good incentive for our volunteers to come out and do some of our weeding for us. As Michelle mentioned, it's an organic farm, so we do have a lot of weeds and it takes a lot of hands to get those out of the ground, so that's important.
And I think too, with any successful volunteer program, it's not about just coming in, giving, and then leaving, but it's how you build that volunteer community, right? So that people are looking for the other volunteers who they've met, and then it just continues to grow and blossom, and then you have more volunteers than you ever could have thought possible, but they're doing all the work that's necessary and essential for you all to do the impactful work that you're doing.
Of course.
And have you seen the number of your volunteers grow over time?
Yeah, we have it. I think it's not necessarily about the growth of the program, but kind of like you say, just those people who come back each year. And they come back with a gained knowledge sort of our organization. They become advocates for us because they really have an understanding of what we do. And so then they're able, like you say, to go and talk to their friends and families about our mission and invite them to our events and just to be more engaged in a deeper way. So it's great.
I just love it because I know that here in Tacoma, we have amazing people, an amazing community to be so proud of. And together, we are better. And so when we can bring all of these people together and they're helping one another and helping those who are in need in our community just continues to benefit. And I applaud all the work that you're doing. So we jump from the farm to a distribution center then down in Lakewood for the Repack Project. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, great. So as Michelle mentioned, we also have the Repack Project. One way that we're able to leverage our resources at EFN is by purchasing things in bulk. And I don't know about you, but I could not go through a 50-pound bag of oats in my pantry. And so we're able to use volunteers to break down those bags of food into smaller family-sized portions that are able to be distributed to our food pantries. So this is really fun. We play some music. We get groups of people, corporate groups as well as individuals that come and help us repackage rice, oats, beans, and fun stuff that gets donated to us. Like this week we got quinoa, which we're really excited to repack. We also last week were repacking yellow squash and watermelons even. So our volunteers have to be prepared for anything and everything when they come to the Repack Project, but it's a lot of fun.
And hats off to all of you because all of this food that you're describing is so nutritional in value. So it's not just about providing food, but it's also providing the necessary nutrition and proteins that they need. So that is very, very commendable. And Joanna, you have a lot going on too. I heard that you all have what we know as a restaurant takeover. Tell us more about that fun activity.
Yes, we do. So the restaurant takeover is an event that's hosted by EFN's Ambassador Board. And this one is on July 25th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Swiss Restaurant and Pub in Tacoma.
And great that the Swiss is participating. So how does this actually benefit EFN?
So the Swiss is generously donating 20% of all food and drink purchases during the takeover that day. And they're also hosting a peanut butter drive that day as well. So really we're just asking the community to come out and support the event by having lunch or dinner, or maybe coming out for drinks during happy hour, and bring a jar or two of peanut butter with them as well to donate and drop off in the collection bin. And in the evening, we're also doing from 5 to 7 and enter to win a $50 gift card to the Swiss. So this event's really just a fun and easy way for the community to come out and show their support for Emergency Food Network and for a local restaurant and also for our neighbors in need.
You all are hopping. So many different ways and diverse ways that people can participate. So if you don't have the time or maybe the manpower to go out and help at the farm or to help with the Repack Project, you can also just do something as simply popping into the Swiss on the takeover and just participating that way. So you've made it super easy and really fun for people to participate. So hats off to all of you for that. So Michelle, Joanna mentioned about the Ambassador Board. Tell me a little bit more about that because I bet we have some viewers who would be interested in knowing more about what that is and possibly how they could join the board.
The Ambassador Board for Emergency Food Network has been an incredible benefit. And so we have a main board that really provides our governance, but the Ambassador Board is particularly focused on getting out into the community and engaging. And it's made up of maybe younger professionals or people that are looking for a less rigorous board commitment than a traditional board. And what they do is a tremendous amount of volunteer activities with us. So they do repacks, they run an event in June called Casino, they do these restaurant takeovers for us, and it's made up of professionals from all different segments of the workforce in Pierce County. So we have some of the hospitals represented, some of our banks, and they're just a force to be reckoned with. So they go out and they weed at the farm, they do repacks with us, and we are always looking for more people for the Ambassador Board. It is just a great entryway. It's a great way to get connected into community, to give back, and to be part of something, really great that's happening here in Pierce County. When we think about hunger, it's, an essential social need of our time, and hungry kids can't learn and hungry adults can't work. And when we think that 1 in 7 people in Pierce County are hungry, our work is nowhere near done. So we really rely on groups like the Ambassador Board to help us. And if that's something you're interested in, just reach out to Emergency Food Network. We're so connected. We're so happy to get you connected into that group.
And for our viewers who are listening, can you talk a little bit about the time commitment that an ambassador
Sure.
would really need to consider before jumping in?
Absolutely. So it's a little bit make your own adventure, right? Because we have ambassador board members that are engaged at a very high level and provide leadership in the group. And then we also have ambassador board people that do 1 or 2 hours a week. I'm sorry, a month, not a week. So it really can be as you need it, but it's basically a monthly commitment for about 2 hours.
And it really sounds like it's really customized, much like your events and activities, so that based on what you can give, you'll take it. It's not about making sure it's a hard line of a commitment of hours and things like that, but it's more of just jump in, help when you can, because we'll take all hands on deck.
Exactly. And that is really what makes a network like ours work. We could not do it without all these volunteers.
Well, and we couldn't take care of our community if we didn't have such wonderful people to rely on at EFN. So thank you for the work that you're doing, because it is impactful with our community. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
We'll have you back real soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
So audience, you know how to get involved. They can certainly use your help, and what a wonderful organization and certainly people to work with. So don't go away. We'll be back. We'll end out our segment with our friends at Foss Waterway Seaport Museum, and we'll talk a little bit more about Maritime Fest, which is quickly approaching. We'll be right back.